Hey y'all, thanks for stopping by my channel. I had a subscriber request for a video about how I made the large paper clips that I made for these scrappy notebook journals. They're just extra large paper clips that I made with full-size images. These images of the ladies come from Tailor-Made Journals Once Upon a Fairy Tale kit. So I have another image here from that kit that I'm going to use, and then these are 2-inch paper clips, and then I have some more of her digitals. These are her antique book covers, one sheet of those, and then I have a sheet from her antique marble and end papers kit, and then I have a piece of scrap cream colored cardstock and a piece of coffee dyed paper. So the first thing I do is I cut down the image to the size that I want for the middle of the paper clip, and rough up the edges, scruff them up. This is printed on cardstock. The other ones that I had were printed on some really thick cardstock. It felt like it was some cardstock that I had inherited, but it felt almost like canvas. It was amazing, and I had one package of it, and I wasn't able to print this whole kit on that paper, but I did print most of the kit on that paper. So I'm just really giving it a rough scrape. Tears, it's okay. Try not to breathe it all in. And then I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna kind of push and bend and crush the edges to make them look grungy and worn. And then I'm gonna ink around the edges with some, excuse me, with some Vintage Photo Distress Oxide. Just want these a little more curled. You can see how I'm curling some of the edges up and the corners, just to age it a little bit. And then I'm gonna be really rough with it. So basically you're gonna make 2 panels. You're gonna make a front panel. Oh my goodness. And you're gonna make a back panel for your paper clip. But you wanna make the front panel first, because that's gonna determine the size, because of the size of the image you use. That's gonna determine the size of the panel for the back. So that piece is done. Next we're gonna get the next sheet that we're gonna use. And I think I want the darker color first. And I have my homemade tear ruler that I just took craft knife to and chip the edges out. So I want her on a piece of this. So let's rip the edges. This is also printed on cardstock. Let's see. How big do I want this? Now remember, you're gonna rough up the edges, so you want it maybe a little bit bigger than you think. The ruler did pretty well. So sorry. The weather changed here and it's been chilly in the mornings. Everything's trying to bloom. But we still haven't got much rain out here where I'm at, so everything's just floating in the air. It's terrible. That actually looks pretty good. Let's ink that guy up. Roughly. Just to kill the white. I'll curl those a little bit more. That corner off. Okay. Now you're going to take her and glue her down to the second sheet. Oops. Trying to do this a little bit quickly because my camera doesn't hold as much as I wish it would. Try and get a little bit of ink here. So I am using a sheet up that I had printed on before and I didn't use. Then you're gonna take this, and I thought because of the colors of her dress, this sheet would be good. Ooh, but do I want more pink or do I want... This is terrible. I told you guys yesterday, or the other day, day before yesterday, I was not feeling well. But I kind of told this person that I would do one of these videos for her. Make a decision, Jen. I like the blue on this side, I think. I think I do. I think we're gonna get mostly pink. Do the same thing. Figure out kind of where you want to tear this. She's not crooked. Get it torn down, rough it up, ink it up. I think I want that just a little bit narrower up there. Yeah, we're gonna lose the blue. I'll remember that for next time. So I'm just gonna use my fingernails and just kind of make this a little bit rougher in the corner, rough it up. You can do this with your scissors. Whatever you feel comfortable doing. Sometimes it's easier just to do it with your hands. And then ink this guy up. And then this time you're gonna wanna flip this one over and ink around the back of it, because part of this is going to be showing on the back of the paper clip. Again, using up digital that I printed, and then after I printed it, I realized it wasn't what I thought it was. Sometimes I do that. A little bit darker on the edge here. I think. And then glue her down. Again. This time I'm just gonna run my card across her. Okay, so here is your first panel. So your first panel is all done up. She came uncurled in a few places, so you may, because I smoothed it out when I glued it down, she came uncurled. So you have to go back and curl a few places up just to lift them back up again. Okay, so that's gonna be your first piece. Next piece, you're gonna wanna make a little bit smaller than the piece you started out with. First off, let me get the edges torn off. Nope. First thing I did was I glued the paper onto it so that when I tore it, I didn't have to try to guesstimate where this paper needed to go. So you take your cardstock, and you can back this with whatever you want showing on the back of your paper clip is what you're gonna back onto this. Is what you're gonna glue down onto this. And for this one, I wanted coffee dyed paper. I'm just roughly cutting around this. Save all the scrappy stuff. All right, so now I'm gonna want this sheet then torn. Fit back here. And then I'm going to ink it up. Okay, so now you have a front and a back panel. So when you place your paper clip, you're not gonna want to go right in the middle, because then your paper clip's gonna be too heavy and it'll slide or tip out of the page. It'll slide down or tip out. So you want to go a little bit above the middle. And I think I want it this way, just in case I want to add some ribbon or something off the bottom of it. So it's going to go about there. So not right in the middle, a little bit above the middle. And then to hold that in place, I'm going to get a piece of coffee dyed paper scrap. And just glue it down. Some people use tape. I find that if I use tape, sometimes it'll wiggle and slide and my paper clip will move. Also, it's harder to glue against the tape if you don't like using like Beacon 3-in-1. I prefer not to use it. I occasionally do use it. I prefer to use tacky glue. Okay, so now here's your paper clip. We're gonna glue this sheet to this sheet. And I will say, around that paper clip, do not be sparing with the glue, because that's where all the pressure is going to be when you're using these in your books and adding papers to them. So that needs to be really secure. So you want to kind of glue it heavily right around that paper clip. Let me make sure she's right. Yes, she is. And I don't mind a little bit of these words showing through. I really don't. I just didn't like the whole quote. Okay, so there she is. Large altered paper clip. These do need to really dry for a while before you put them in a book, but, and I know I made a mess, guys, but this desk is amazing. Everything comes off of it, including gesso. And I found it was marked for $5. One of my mamas had it in her vendor booth, and it was marked $5, and I said, I want that table, and she said, just take it, get it out of the way. So I got it for free and brought it home, and it was too tall to sew on, so my husband cut the legs down for me. It had solid wood legs, so he was able to cut the legs down for me, where I can sew comfortably. So now we'll see what she looks like in here. She's a little bit big for this particular notebook. So here's the one I made before, and then here's her. She's a little bit bigger. but same idea, right? So then when you put her on a page, this is what she looks like. Really pretty. I probably should have put the paper clip on the other side so that she was facing into the book, but that's okay. So that's how I do my large altered paper clips. If you make some, tag me so that I can see what you made. I appreciate being able to see it. And thank you guys for watching. Thanks to everyone who's been subscribing to the page. Tomorrow, October 1st, we'll be drawing the winner for my 200 subscriber giveaway. So be sure and watch for that video. Thank you.